Hello and welcome to VoiceWhat presents the great business story transforming India in association with NDTV Profit. We're at the LatentView headquarters in Chennai, and LatentView is an AI-driven analytics, data engineering and consulting firm that inspires and transforms companies and businesses in the digital world by harnessing the power of data. LatentView is also a trusted business partner for enterprises worldwide, including 50 plus Fortune 500 companies. Joining me now is Rajan Sethuraman, the CEO, and Rajan Venkatesan, the CFO. LatentView is in its 20th year, and over the past 2 decades, I think you've seen several new technologies cause massive shifts and bring about changes in industry priorities. So tell me, how has the role and expectation from a data analytics partner evolved in that time? And how has LatentView adapted to stay ahead of the curve?
Over the last 20-30 years, as information technology has caught on hold, most organizations have invested in building capabilities related to their information technology, and in that process also built substantial systems of record that are able to capture data across their enterprise in all walks of their life, in different functions and different business areas. Today the question is more around, how do I make use of the data to make high quality decisions? How do we drive optimization within the enterprise? How do I use all of that data and insights to drive competitive advantage? And I think that's really the name of the game. Of course, the evolution of technologies related to analytics, especially in the last 10 years, has been a fairly significant boon in that regard. In fact, in the last year alone, we have seen the advancement related to generative AI and agentic AI that everybody is talking about. That's the game that we are playing at this time. The capabilities that we are building are also aligned to that.
Tell me, how do you tailor your approach to address sector-specific challenges and evolving client needs? Because as we know, the situation is changing every day.
About 6 years back, when I took over as CEO, one very important decision that we made was to reorganize ourselves by industry verticals, because we wanted to build that industry understanding and context that will help us get to the heart of the most important trends and therefore the problems and opportunities those trends present for the companies in the industry. We have gone on to build very specific solutions and value propositions that address those trends, those pain points and opportunities. And today we are able to build in a layer of artificial intelligence, machine learning, generative AI solutions also that integrate with those solutions and value propositions.
So could you share some projects where AI and analytics stood out and made a tangible difference in unlocking a new opportunity for a client?
One of the largest clients that we have been working with, we've been partnering with them for the last 6-7 years. They themselves have been on a transformation journey. For them, data and analytics is a very central theme for how they make decisions. As they have moved from being a company that sells their products and services using a license model to more a software as a service model, we have been partnering them on that journey. One of the things that we have helped them do, for example, is to identify new customer target segments that they can approach and what do they pitch to them, from a product, services, functionality perspective. In this instance, one of their software is being used by a fairly broad spectrum of consumers for looking at photos and managing them, and then editing them before they post on social media. And this segment, again, now that you know a lot more about them in terms of not just their demographic profile, but also how are they using the software, what kind of features and functionality are important to them, you can then reach out to them with very specific tailored messages and help as well to support them in their use of that software. So this is something that we are very proud of, in terms of helping companies discover new customer segments, appeal to them, in a very particular way.
I was told that LatentView's IPO in 2021 was a landmark moment, and that it was with a record 338x subscription. You're the only pure play analytics players to be listed in India. What has the journey been like since going public? And what goals did the company set out with, and how are they taking shape today?
It's been an extremely satisfying and I would say pleasant journey, till now. while the IPO in itself was a grand success, I think what is tremendously satisfying is the journey post that, right? As a company, we're a very ambitious company. We want to grow at a fairly rapid clip, but at the same time, we want to keep things honest. We don't want to lose trust, and that's something that we've consciously, tried to work towards. We guide the market conservatively, and our goal is to always try and better that, right? And I think we've delivered that consistently over several quarters, and that's been very, very satisfying.
LatentView's annual results this year shows that you've crossed the $100 million mark in revenue. Was this pace of growth in tune with your expectations?
We've been able to grow consistently, right? We've not compromised on the quality of the work that we've done. We've not compromised on the margins or the pricing, right? For instance, we've taken, and also the customer profile, right? We continue to work with the largest Fortune 500 clients, which gives us, the quality of the underlying business that we've delivered over the last 3 years has not eroded at all, even though we've continued to grow. So I think that's been a very pleasing factor. Of course, the rate of growth, can it be faster, is always a debatable point. I mean, as the CFO, I would like the company to grow a lot more faster. It gives us more avenues to then, invest the money that we make, right, into other sort of growth areas. So that can be a little faster, but I would say overall satisfied with what we've delivered over the last 3 years.
Specific areas where LatentView plans to establish its expertise. And if I can just add on to that, looking ahead, let's say in the next 3 to 5 years, where does the company see growth coming from?
So we have set out a target of doubling our revenues in a 3-year time frame. But in the 3-year time frame, we believe that there are very specific avenues of growth that will get us there. At this point in time, I would say that there are 3 major focus areas that we're doubling down on. One is the entire opportunity that is being presented by the revolution that's happening in AI, Gen AI, and agentic AI. We are already doing quite a bit of work in that space. Last year, for example, 8% of our revenues came from doing such work. The second pillar of growth is going to be the underlying data engineering and data platform foundations that companies need in order to capitalize on these opportunities. And the third one is just mining and farming our top accounts that we have. Again, we have identified about 25 plus accounts that will give us the growth that we are aspiring for over the next 3 years. All of these accounts, as Raj pointed out, they are Fortune 500 companies. They have a lot of opportunity and avenue and headroom for growth, and that's really what we are going after.
And agentic AI is making waves with big implications on the future of work. How is LatentView helping clients and helping them specifically prepare for this next wave of transformation?
Right. I think the agentic AI revolution itself is made possible by a lot of stuff that's happened before that. There are several component solutions that have been built by a variety of players in the space, right? I mean, they could be IT services organizations, there could be product companies, they could be startups and so on, solving very specific parts of the problem. What agentic AI helps is to bring it all together and help orchestrate how you put it all together from a decision-making perspective, from a decision-making context, right? The fact that we have been already building multiple solutions that are addressing very specific pain points and opportunities positions us really well. We have the suite of solutions and value propositions that we're able to bring to the table. Now, with the availability of agentic AI, right, as a technology framework, we are able to bring it all together and not just do the data analysis and generate the insights, but take it all the way and embed it into the decision-making process, right? So that's where we are playing. When I look at the pipeline for the next year, I already see the doubling. So we felt that this is the right time for us to create a center of excellence around this topic. So we are bringing together people that we already have internally who have deep expertise. We are also augmenting the team by hiring from outside. And this team will do the R&D and the research and the experimentation about understanding the optionality that is evolving in the space so that we can recommend the right kind of architecture that is needed for the Gen AI and agentic AI solution. So that's the approach that we are taking.
So last year, LatentView made its first acquisition, and what was the thinking behind choosing a company like Decision Point, and how are you leveraging their expertise?
Traditionally, we have been very strong in the technology and the digital native domain. So even during the IPO, we had identified 2 industry segments as focus areas for the growth based on the kind of headroom that was available. One of them was banking, financial services, and insurance, and the other was consumer packaged goods and retail, right, that space. Decision Point Analytics has been doing work specifically around revenue growth management in the consumer goods space. They help solve problems around price, promotion, package architecture for consumer goods companies, and these are very important areas, given especially the challenges that companies have faced during COVID and subsequent times, supply chain disruptions. How do you devise that product price promotion architecture to capitalize on the revenue growth opportunities? That's really what they do. We are very happy that we have been able to take in the solutions and value propositions and integrate it with our frameworks, and also get the teams to work together, right, so that we can drive the kind of synergy benefits that we are expecting by bringing the two organizations together.
You've been certified as a great place to work, but when it comes to hybrid workplace management, for which you've won awards also, I'm told, how have you ensured productivity by, managing this and keeping the culture of collaboration and learning intact, even if it's a hybrid workplace situation?
Right. So from our very early days, this aspect of freedom with responsibility has been a very important core principle for us in terms of the values that we practice. From the very first employees that we brought on board to people that we go out and hire, right, whether they are lateral joiners or from campus, this is a very important principle and concept that we look for. So we are very happy that people who join us imbibe that principle and that value and are able to operate in a fairly independent fashion, right? Even if they are very junior people. Not that they don't need mentoring or coaching or supervision at times, but it's a question of given a task and given a role, are they self-starters, right? Are they motivated enough, right? Do they see the value in undertaking things on their own? I think what helps us in all of this is the fact that we are doing extremely interesting work for the clients that we are working with. So just the work challenge in terms of what they do keeps them motivated. That principle is something that's at the heart of what we do, right? And we're very happy, right, that it's playing out even in these difficult times of hybrid working.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us, and I'm sure the awards, the IPO, the numbers, everything indicates that you're certainly doing things right. Thank you so much for your time on NDTV and NDTV Profit and for this special segment.
Thank you, Saurabh.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome to VoiceWhat presents the great business story transforming India in association with NDTV Profit. We're in the industrial city of Hosur at the factory of the MPPL Group, which is India's largest contract manufacturer and exporter of toys. Along with being India's largest exporter of toys, the MPPL Group also caters to automotives, consumer electronics, sports, furniture, industrial goods, and functions from 5 plants spread across over 1 million square foot of manufacturing space with 2,000 plus employees. And the interesting thing is, 65% of them are women. Joining me now is the founder and managing director of the MPPL Group. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Can you tell me what the key differentiators are that set MPPL apart from other global contract manufacturers in the toy and precision injection molding space?
MPPL is kind of one-stop solution for manufacturing of toys. There are very few players in India and also globally who can provide solution from an ideation, prototyping, tooling, the entire manufacturing process, assembly, decoration, packaging, testing, and then supply to every nook and corner of the world as you get from the retail shop.
You spoke about tooling, so can you elaborate on your in-house design and tooling development process and how it shortens perhaps time, for new product launches?
See, in toys, it's a very seasonal product. So by having in-house facility, we have one of the best tool rooms in India, I would say. So where the speed of manufacturing the tool, the qualification of the tool, the testing of the tools, and then putting the tools into production, because the toy runs in 2 seasons, which is spring season and the fall season. So basically, globally it runs on the fall season, where the season starts from April and then ends in October, where millions of products have to be put in the shelf. So by having in-house facility, it helps many of the suppliers do subcontracting of the tools, subcontract of the designs, and then import of the tools from other parts of the world, where there's a lot of freight cost added, the logistics time added, and then the time to bring the product into the market it goes on the longer period. By having this facility in-house, we are able to cut down the period by multiple weeks, which is the important criteria for the customers to have all the products in the shelf before the season starts.
Can you tell me what safety and compliance standards do your toys meet, especially for global markets and some of the most well-known retailers of toys globally?
As you rightly said, we cater to some of the biggest global brands and also some of the largest retailers. Each and every material what we use, whether it's the raw materials, whether it's the colorants, the paints, the inks, the master batch, even the packaging, are compliant with EN 71 standards. And also we have a well qualified physical lab, in-house physical lab, which is approved by all the big brands whom we cater to. So each and every product what we manufacture, right from the design stage and the manufacturing stage at the final stage, goes through this safety standards, functional standards, the incoming chemical standards, quality standards. It meets all these requirements, and there is a third party audit of all these products before which everything gets shipped out. Even there are surprise audits on these product lines in the process what we follow, and we are one of the most hygiene company with respect to all these compliances. So we have supplied in the last 10 years millions of products globally, and I can proudly say we have never had even one return so far.
What percentage of your toy manufacturing is electronic or battery operated?
Yeah, we have an in-house SMT line, a PCBA manufacturing line, where all our electronic toys, which is about 40% of our total portfolio, we manufacture the entire PCBA ourselves, and we assemble ourselves, test it, and then the electronic toys are developed and then shipped to all parts of the world by developing all this capability in-house.
And sir, how do you cater to, say, IP and confidentiality requirements, because you're catering to some of the most well-known brands who will focus very strongly on IP and confidentiality as well?
See, it goes both ways. It goes with the trust of the customers, the way we run the company. We run a very transparent company. The customers are always in the company. They are most welcome to look at our manufacturing process. Each customer knows, and we very clearly mention to them what kind of products we cater to different different brands and different customers. There is no crisscross of any technology and any product lines there. And recently we are certified by one of the global brands as an IP compliant company. So when I say IP compliant, there are many processes we need to follow, right from the RFQ stage to the quotation stage, and also all the development phases and the manufacturing till the launch of the product. There are very strict, vigorous process which we need to follow. It's also the trust and the openness with which we run, and then the customers know very well that the product line what we do with each and every customer is unique to that customer, and there is no crisscross of those product line across the customers.
So we've been focusing on toys, so let me slightly move away from toys and ask you, can you share examples of high precision molded parts or sub-assemblies that you have developed for clients in the automotive or the electronic sectors?
We produce very high precision products. For even in automotive, we handle some of the biggest customers, the Japanese customers. The Japanese customers are very stringent when it comes to toys, when it comes to their requirement in terms of quality, delivery. I can say very proudly with one of the major automotive giants from Japan, we recently got the best partner award with that customer, and then for last I think more than 10 years we are with 0 ppm and then 100% delivery compliant, 0 ppm supplying to their line just in time with no incoming inspection at their stage, and our products directly going into their lines. And we have some of the best technology injection molding machines in-house with all electric machines. These machines are capable of producing products with under 1 micron accuracy levels, and we have the best measuring equipments in-house to measure those products, and the capability to build molds to suit such high precision requirements. So with this capability, we cater to consumer electronics, we cater to automotive, we cater to sports. We are very big in sports as well, and then furnitures, and then industrial products. So across the spectrum, our team is capable of handling some of the best engineering materials, very well experienced in handling, because the team what we have come with some big experience from automotive industry, consumer electronics, medical industry. So they all come with such experience. We are able to manufacture the products with very high accuracy in terms of dimensions, and in terms of aesthetics. We cater to some of the A-class products aesthetically, where the finish and the quality of the products is of such an importance. We are able to cater very high precision products and very highly aesthetically driven products as well.
Can you tell me how you maintain consistency in quality in high volume production runs?
It's all about building the quality culture, because you can't drive the quality forcibly. The quality has to be driven by each and every person inside the company. So it is the culture. We really put a lot of emphasis on the quality culture, training, sending people to look at the best practices globally, because our team travels to some of the best customers running best practices globally. So we go and get trained from them and try to implement the best practices in-house. But basically it's all about the combination of the best infrastructure, the best machineries and the people, and all working towards building a culture which is quality first to the customers.
Can you tell me a little bit about your sustainability initiatives? It's such an important thing these days.
We as a company, all our group companies, I must say, we have put rooftop solars in all the plants, and then we are with wheeling. I can very proudly say that we are almost 50% carbon neutral, and with the aim that next 3 years we want to be about 70 to 75% carbon neutral, and a lot of initiatives are done towards becoming 75% carbon neutral.
So can you tell me a little bit about your automation, digital transformation initiatives that you've implemented across your production units and that have led to actually these units to boost productivity?
There's a lot of initiatives, but this is something I would like my COO, Mr. Dhruva Kumar, who is really champion of leading these initiatives inside the company, to probably explain to you. I think he's the better person to answer this question, I guess.
We have implemented SAP across the 5 units, where the entire business is been digitalized from PO to dispatch. This helped us to have a continuous traceability for each and every shipment what we are doing it for an export consignment as well as local consignment. In coming into the automation part, the management is very conscious on implementation of automations based on process oriented projects, where the common processes are there, where automation is being implemented. Product specific, we are conscious based on the volume and the business potential. We select the projects and implement the automations. We have successfully implemented semi-auto as well as fully auto automations based on our needs and the business potential.
What are MPPL's strategic goals over the next 5 years, and particularly in expanding your customer base or entering new market segments globally? What are your plans for the next 3 to 5 years?
We work with almost, I would say, top 12 to 15 global brands and the top retailers. Our aim is to be double our portfolio what we have today in terms of revenue, and be probably a $150 million company in the next 3 years. That's what which we are working. And even though our aim is to be 50-50 in the toys and the engineering category which we are working with, but toys being a complete product portfolio, the value addition in toys is larger, but we would like to be at least a 60-40 ratio in terms of toys and the engineering products what we have. With two strategy. One is to go deeper with the existing customers and probably look at sectors which we are not into. Probably a medical segment is something which we are not into, and then aerospace and defense is something which we are not into. So our aim is to, as I said, one is to go deep, penetrate deep into existing customers, and then look at these new opportunities with what we have developed, and look at becoming a $150 million company in the next 3 to 5 years.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time, and it's
My
lovely
pleasure.
to hear what you've been doing, and all the best for your goal of becoming a $150 million company. I hope you get there soon.
Thank you so very much.